I realized I had been relieved for years without noticing that the relief itself was the problem. The thought did not arrive as a shock. It arrived as recognition, like seeing your own reflection in a dark window and understanding that it has been there the entire time. I remember standing still when it happened. Nothing around me changed. No sound dropped out of the room. No signal warned me that I had crossed a line. And yet, the question settled in immediately. How does a person live inside something for so long without knowing what it is? For a moment, I tried to dismiss it. Everyone feels relief. Everyone seeks it. That is what I told myself. The thought sounded reasonable. It had been useful for years, but it no longer covered what I was seeing. There was a difference between relief as a pause and relief as a place to stay. I understood then that I had chosen the second without ever admitting it. I went back to what I was doing. That mattered to me. The normality of the moment felt important. I finished the small task in front of me. I rinsed my hands. I dried them. I checked the time. All of it worked the way it always had. My body knew what to do. That was comforting. It allowed me to pretend that the realization could be folded into the day without changing its shape. The day continued. Conversations happened. I nodded in the right places. My voice came out even. People did not react differently to me. That was another quiet confirmation. Whatever had shifted was internal enough to remain invisible. That made it easier to keep moving. Later, I told myself that I had always been practical, that I had learned to value calm over intensity. I framed it as growth, as something earned through experience. These explanations were familiar. I had used them before. They fit easily over the shape of my life. Too easily. In the weeks that followed, I paid closer attention to details. Not because I was searching for trouble, because something had already loosened. I noticed how often I chose the option that required the least adjustment. How often I accepted outcomes simply because they did not ask me to respond. I noticed how relief appeared not after resolution, but after avoidance. Nothing dramatic happened. That is important. There were no arguments, no sudden losses, no visible failures. The surface of my life remained smooth. If anything, it became smoother. Fewer disruptions, fewer moments that demanded clarity. There were times when an instinct would rise, a subtle tension, a sense that I should say something or do something, or acknowledge something that mattered. I recognized the feeling immediately. It was not new. What was new was how easily I let it dissolve. I did not suppress it. I did not fight it. I simply waited until it passed. And it always did. I began to trust that pattern. Trust is the wrong word, perhaps. I relied on it. Each time I chose not to engage, the world remained intact. No consequences arrived, no punishment followed. That absence taught me something. It taught me that resistance was optional. I told myself that not every thought deserves action, that maturity includes knowing when to let things go. These ideas were not false, they were incomplete. But incompleteness can be difficult to detect when it aligns with comfort. I noticed changes in how I spoke. I used fewer definitive statements. I avoided language that revealed preference. I answered questions in ways that left space for interpretation. This was not strategy. It was adaptation. I had learned how to remain agreeable without being present. People seemed to appreciate this version of me. Or at least they did not challenge it. I was described as easy to be around, reasonable, understanding. I accepted these descriptions without examining them. They felt accurate enough. There were moments alone when I sensed a pressure building. Not anxiety, not sadness. Something quieter, a density behind the chest. I would sit with it for a while, then I would reach for distraction, a screen, a routine, sleep. The pressure would fade. I took that as confirmation that nothing needed to be addressed. I stopped imagining alternatives. That change happened slowly. I used to picture different outcomes, different versions of myself, These thoughts once felt natural. They had provided momentum. At some point, they became unnecessary. The present felt sufficient, or at least it felt closed. I began to recognize a specific kind of fear, not fear of loss, fear of engagement, the idea that something might require me to commit to a position, to reveal a need, to acknowledge a desire. Those possibilities felt intrusive. I learned to arrange my life to minimize their appearance. This did not feel like shrinking. It felt like refinement. I reduced friction. I optimized for ease. I made choices that kept everything manageable. Each choice made the next one simpler. The pressure continued to build quietly. It did not demand attention. It accumulated. I carried it without strain. That was part of the problem. If it had hurt, I might have stopped. Instead, it became background. The internal fracture was subtle. There was no moment of collapse, no sense of loss. One part of me continued to observe. The other continued to function. They no longer consulted each other. That separation felt clean. I became aware of myself in a new way. I could see my patterns clearly. I could predict my responses. I knew which situations I would avoid and which I would tolerate. This awareness did not produce urgency. It produced acceptance. Relief was everywhere. Relief at not having to decide. Relief at not being seen too closely. Relief at not needing to hope for change. I finally understood that this relief was not temporary. It was structural. It held everything in place. I did not feel trapped. That would have implied a desire to leave. I felt settled. Settled can look like peace from the outside. It can even feel like peace for a while, but it is something else entirely. There were brief moments when memory surfaced, a version of myself that had wanted something clearly. The memory did not hurt. It felt distant, like recalling a language I no longer speak. I acknowledged it. Then I let it go. I knew by then that I had granted myself permission long ago. Permission to stop resisting. Permission to stop reaching. Permission to remain unchanged. I could not locate the moment it happened, only the result. This is not a confession meant to be understood completely. I am not offering explanations. I am describing a landscape, one that formed gradually, one that feels stable now. Nothing on the surface needs to change for this to continue. That may be the most unsettling part. I can live here indefinitely. I already have. I understand what I have done. I understand what it cost. That understanding does not bring relief. It simply completes the picture. This is where I am. Thank you for watching. Like the video and subscribe if you want to hear more stories like this.